Aggregates are essential inputs to every economy, not just in Southeast Europe, but across all of Europe and the entire world. They are the basis for our built physical environment, roads, bridges, tunnels, people's homes, all sorts of infrastructure. And in fact, aggregates are produced in every nation in Southeast Europe, but not in a consistent manner and not under the same regulatory or planning policies. There's much inconsistency.
Total aggregate production in Europe is estimated almost 3 billion tons, supplied by over 14,000 producers from 24,000 quarries and pits, employing some 250,000 people.
What is needed is a coherent approach to planning for aggregates, a planning approach that is consistent with sustainable development for all of the nations in the region. For that reason, the European Union has funded the SNAP project at the tune of 1.7 million euros so that we can come together, 12 nations and 27 partners, to develop a coherent planning approach.
In SNAP-C project, we are preparing tools in order to facilitate the development of sustainable aggregates planning in Southeast Europe countries. The tools are 4 booklets that will ease stakeholder consultation process, data management, plan development, and that will provide a clear vision towards a sustainable approach in aggregates planning.
We have undertaken a variety of activities. These include developing the tools we need to work with all stakeholders so that the plans will be consistent with the desires and needs of the peoples in each country.
We have implemented 2 rounds of consultations with stakeholders in 12 participating countries. Participants from different target groups discussed about solutions to improve the planning approach for aggregate supply in their country.
We have looked at what data are needed and how to incorporate those in the planning process.
The data relating to the primary and secondary aggregates are available among the actors of the life cycle of aggregates. But the life cycle does not end with the construction phase. It goes on with recycling and the reuse of recycled aggregates. Data analysis methodologies are represented by a scheme organizing the information of the whole life cycle of aggregates. The data analysis methodologies allow tracking of the material flow in order to point out possible critical points. So, data analysis methodologies can be used both for the planning and the design phase of construction.
We have created a vision for what would be good planning across the region.
One of the most important activities related to the project is compiling the Southeast European Vision, a document that will be a guidance to how to make and prepare mineral and aggregate plans in the whole region of the Southeast Europe.
We have laid out for each of our nations all of the aspects of planning that can then be adapted to the culture and the laws appropriate and in place in each country. And we have developed a toolbox which will be available in the languages of each of the partner nations so that they will have information on how to conduct stakeholder consultations, what information to collect and how to store it, what aspects of planning need to be considered, and in addition, examples of good planning language that they can utilize if that would be helpful in their planning process. And all of this is done with the idea that we will have sustainable aggregates resource management and a sustainable supply of aggregates to the economy of each of the nations within the Southeast Europe region.
Most extractive industries have adopted sustainable development principles in their operations. In this respect, planning should also follow a sustainable way of doing things. Most European countries, rather a few European countries, have already adopted this in their policies. Our objective as SNAP-C partners is to ensure that our countries get familiar with sustainable planning and incorporate that in their midterm policies.